May 24, 2018, 3:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. May 24, 2018, 3:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. The New York Rangers named David Quinn their new head coach, choosing a candidate they said will fill a number of needs for where the franchise is currently at. Watch NHL with Fubo TV. New York. With Boston University's semester winding down, David Quinn walked into the team's practice facility on a Friday morning. It was early, but he spotted one of his players, junior Jordan Greenway. Right away, Quinn could tell that Greenway was excited about something, ready to share it with his head coach. "And I walked in and he said, 'Guess how I did on my midterm?'" Quinn told Sporting News during an extended interview in November. "I said, well, you wouldn't be asking me if you didn't do well, so I'm going to guess you did well on your midterm." Quinn knew these types of conversations and interactions were vital to him getting the most out of his players on the ice. It's that ability to develop young talent that has the New York Rangers brass so excited to now have Quinn behind its bench. On Thursday, Quinn was introduced as the 35th head coach of the New York Rangers. General manager Jeff Gorton said that Quinn was really the only man for the job, with he and the Rangers seeing eye to eye on how to approach the responsibilities of a head coach. Sources close to the situation indicated the Rangers twice sweetened their financial offer to pry the 51-year-old away from Commonwealth Avenue. Quinn said he was approached by several NHL teams over the past few years about making the jump. "This was really the only situation I would have left Boston University for," he said Thursday at Madison Square Garden, with a gold Rangers pin on his lapel and a huge smile on his face. Quinn, "The more we talked, it just seemed like a natural fit. This was really the only situation I would have left Boston University for." pic.twitter.com/CVOPMBOOLS. Evan Sporer, @Ev_Sporer. May 24, 2018. Gorton made it clear throughout the Rangers search that the target was a coach to fit the Rangers' current needs. Those are much different than what the team and its fan base are accustomed to, with New York in a self-described rebuild. "It's obviously an important day. We're naming a head coach, but we're also naming a head coach at a time we're rebuilding our team," Gorton said. "It's pretty well documented we were looking for somebody with fresh ideas and a fresh approach. As we went through this process, we met with a number of people. And it just kept coming back to David as the guy that we wanted." In Quinn, the Rangers are hoping they'll get a coach proficient in a number of areas, from being able to relate with and get through to the team's young core and the players it will continue to add, to stylistically how he envisions the team playing, to his willingness and open-mindedness to incorporate data into his decision-making. Through the process of talking with them, Jeff and Chris, every time they said that this is something they were looking to do, instinctively I would say to myself that this is kind of my coaching DNA. At Rangers, May 24, 2018. The Rangers have 3 first-round draft picks in 2018, knows 9, 26, and 28, and 2 2017 first-round picks, Philip Chytil and Louis Anderson, whom Gorton said on Thursday he expects to compete for opening night roster spots during training camp. Nowadays, with college coaches, and with junior coaches, a lot of these guys you're seeing thrown in the hat for this job. Players are different now, said Rangers defenseman Kevin Shattenkirk. They need to be managed a little bit differently. They're not as hard on them as they used to be, and you have to be able to coach each player based on different personalities. Quinn was an assistant under Jack Parker at Boston University for Shattenkirk's 3 collegiate season at Boston University, from 2007 to 2010. "Having Jack at BU and having Quinn at BU was the reason why I went there," Shattenkirk said. It was dubbed as one of the best stepping stones to the NHL as far as going to a college. You don't know if you're going to make it at that time, but you put yourself in the best position to succeed, and that's what they did. They treated us fair as a team and they coached us to win, but at the same time, their agenda was to develop you and turn you into a better player. It's that balance the Rangers are hoping Quinn can strike on Broadway. He'll be tasked with the pressure to produce results, even amid a self-described rebuilding team, while also cultivating individual talent. But the philosophy Shattenkirk outlined meshes very much with how Quinn describes his approach to player relations. You have to understand the whole situation, and you can't just focus on that one event or that one night, Quinn told Sporting News back in November. You have to take everything into consideration when you deal with a player. What he'll attempt to do is get the Rangers to play an up-tempo style catalyzed out of a well-structured defensive zone, creating space for players to take offensive liberties. He always has a fast team, said Rangers forward Kevin Hayes. I've never practiced under him, but I can only imagine what those practices are going to be like. Hayes spent 4 years on the other side of Commonwealth Avenue, playing for rival Boston College. Quinn left his job as an assistant at Boo right before Hayes' freshman year, but did have a hand in trying to recruit him into a Terriers sweater, and then returned as the Boo head coach when Hayes was a senior. Every time we played Boo when I was at BC it was an up-and-down game, Hayes said. I'm sure he'll bring that here to the Rangers. Both Shattenkirk and Hayes stressed an accountability they think Quinn will bring with him, something they said was lacking this past season. In order to win games, you have to hold each other accountable, whether it's your best and older players holding the younger guys accountable, but your younger guys should quietly be holding the older guys accountable as well, Hayes said. Everyone is on the team to win one thing, and we all know what that is. You obviously have to have the right players and the best players, but a major thing for a successful team is accountability. It shouldn't just be the guys who have been here for 7, 8 years holding the younger guys accountable, it's a team-wide thing. Hayes said that starts right at the top with Quinn. He is, like he said, he's fair and demanding. That's very accurate, Shattenkirk said. He treats players with a lot of respect, but he expects you to show up to work every day, and he wants to work on something every day, so it's constantly growing, it's constantly developing as a player, and that's something that we need here. In knowing him so well and then really thinking about our team and what direction we need to head in, it's the right move, it's the right way to go. Shattenkirk called Quinn a defenseman at heart, and credited him for his development at his position in college. Quinn said on Many Times Thursday it's the details within the concepts that are so paramount to success, and finding out how each player thinks and reacts to different teaching styles and how to best get through to them. It's just having a pulse of your team, too, Quinn said. Knowing when to push them, knowing when to let up. To me, our job as a coach is to push them as far as you can without losing them, and then comes the offensive element, where both Shattenkirk and Hayes said Quinn will help to loosen the reins. He kind of holds everyone accountable defensively and then kind of lets you do your own thing offensively, Hayes said. Obviously defense leads to offense. I feel like in my 4 years here I've thought a lot more defensively than I have offensively. I think with a good relationship and a good trust between the both of us, if I do my work defensively I'll be able to provide a lot more offensively, added Shattenkirk. He doesn't want to take away your creativity at all. Pic.twitter.com/rn1z84ml New York Rangers, at Nye Rangers, May 24, 2018. Then there is the behind-the-scenes perspective. Both Gorton and Quinn said the coach and his new front office are on the same page in terms of how the team should operate. Quinn is no stranger to the NHL. He spent the 2012-13 season as an assistant on the Colorado Avalanche, but the landscape of TH League and the resources available have changed tremendously over the past 5 years. All information is helpful, Quinn said. How much you use and verbalize to your team depends on how comfortable you are with that information. But the more information you get, the better. We had an analytics woman, Catherine Yates, at Boo. I think we were one of the few college teams that had a full-time one, and we used that a lot. Her and I had a great communication, and she did a lot of things for us to help us in that department. I know there are a lot more resources at this level, so we're going to use anything we can to make this team better, and it's the totality of Quinn's pedigree, that he was able to check all of those boxes off, that made Gordon feel so comfortable. Quinn, and by his account Onl Quinn, was the right man for the job. Communication is a huge thing with these players today, and that's probably the number one thing that stuck out, Gordon said. No one specifically cited that as an area of weakness on Thursday while Quinn was being introduced, but it was also a pretty constant talking point in selling Quinn's credentials. He's a younger guy, he'll connect with players a lot differently, Hayes said. Quinn even brought with him an intangible Gordon wasn't originally seeking in a candidate. As I drove home, my wife and we had dinner with him last night, and I said, "What did you think?" Gordon said. And she says, "Oh, he's handsome, so I think we got the other box, too."